What up? It's Jimmy. This is a clip from our big NFL Conference Finals show starring Bebsy, Dutch Boy Fresh, and Nolly Knows. If you want to check out the entire show, hit the link at the bottom of the screen. It's available exclusively on odds.com. And then we are going to go in. I'm going to line shop for the team totals here. But while I'm doing that, because that might take a little bit of time because I have to go into the different sites, let's get into player props for the NFC Championship. And the first thing I was interested in was Rodgers' completions and attempts, but they understand that there's going to be a lot of people looking over there. It is higher than I may have expected. At Bet365 right now, Rodgers is at 36.5 attempts and 25.5 completions. And against the Rams was his most attempts in a long time. And he didn't even go over 36.5. He hit 36. So he's had over 36 attempts in the regular season. He did it three times. And to get over 25.5 completions, he did that 5 times. And over the last few games, he had no reason to do that at all. He's had over his last 6 games, he's only done it. He's not gone over 26.5, but he's gone over 25.5 once. 26. So I'm very hesitant to move on that. Let's start with Bebenek and go around the horn. Player props, NFC Championship.
Well, first out the gates, I'm going to take Davante Adams passing yards over. I just really think he's going to be a huge feature for Aaron Rodgers. It's set at 87.5 on Bet365. I'm not sure what it's at FanDuel, but I like that look. I also like Robert Tonyan at 32.5. And then on the other side of the ball, I'm going to jump on Rob Gronkowski because I think in this situation, given the fact that all 3 of these star receivers are limping into this game for the Bucs, but also, look, this is familiar territory for Gronkowski, for Brady. They're both used to playing in the cold. If somebody is going to step up on that offense, I think it's going to be Gronk, and his yards are relatively low at 28.5, so I like that.
All right, well, let's just make some decisions here. It's 89.5 for Davante Adams at -112 at FanDuel.
It should be 87.5 at DraftKings -112. That's what I had earlier. That's what I locked in earlier.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, let's give you that then. Thank you. Thank you.
I like what you're sipping on over there, Bebsy. I had it already locked in, my man.
Yes, sir.
Over 87.5 -112 at FanDuel. And then for
DraftKings, Jim.
Oh, sorry, DraftKings. Thank you.
Yes,
DraftKings. Yeah, because it's 89 at FanDuel. Thank you. And then over for Tonyan. And they don't have Tonyan listed at FanDuel. Strange. They don't have receiving yards for Tonyan, so we'll use the Bet365. Oh, no, there it is. Sorry, it's just down further. 32.5. What did they have it at Bet365, Bebsy?
32.5 -120.
Okay, so we'll give you this 32.5 at -112 for Tonyan.
Beautiful.
And then for Gronk, let's get Gronk up here. What did they have at Bet365? 27.5?
28.5.
So it's 27.5 at FanDuel, so we'll give you that right there. Over 27.5. So quickly, Bebsy, you think that Brate's not going to get all the action from the tight end spot, that Gronk will step up here?
You know what? They've been using Brate a lot more lately. And look, I think Brate's an extremely underrated tight end, like receiving tight end. And I think Brady's starting to click with him a lot more. I just think a big game, familiarity between Brady and Gronk, and just I think Gronk steps up in this one. It's a gut feeling. I understand why people would expect Brate to steal these yards, get more of these. I just think given the situation, I just got a good feeling about Gronk in this one.
Noli, is there anything you're looking at for the player prop spots here in the NFC Championship?
Yeah, I started digging around. Not typically something I like to. I bet a lot, but one thing that I noticed a lot, a big change in the Buccaneers offense was them leaning on Leonard Fournette significantly more. He gets 19 rushes and then 17 last week against New Orleans. So I dug around and I'm looking to take the over in his rushing props here. Let me see here. I got 42 and a half.
42 and a half rush yards. Yeah, that was the number I saw as well. 42 and a half. Let's see if we can possibly beat that here. Player props. See if I can beat that. Fournette rushing yards. 42 and a half. Yeah, 42 and a half minus 112 at FanDuel. Okay, I like it. There we go. We got over 42 and a half rush yards for Fournette for Noli. Now let's go to our guy, Dutch Boy Fresh. Dutch, what are the player props that you're looking at?
Yeah, just to piggyback off what Noli was saying with Fournette, I was looking at him as well because he has been, they've been trying to make him a little bit more of a focal point in that backfield. Ronald Jones did have a really good game though against Green Bay in that first time around. But I seen as Fournette's touchdowns props were pretty juicy too. So nothing I'm going to make official, but I might take a little more look into that. But from prospective, what I've locked in, obviously what Bebsy said, I'm already on the over 87.5. The Adams with yards, I expect him definitely to get off. I don't see anybody on Tampa to stop him, just like he said. I'm also going to lock in over 7.5 receptions with Adams, which is minus 108 on DraftKings. He averages 7.5 receptions a game, and he's averaging 91 yards a game. So the yards I really love. I definitely expect him to also get 9 to 10 receptions easy. A lot of short ones too, easy ones, but they'll add up, and we'll get over 100. I expect it, definitely anywhere between 9 and 11 receptions. So I'm gonna lock in the Adams. I'm also gonna lock in Aaron Jones, like you mentioned. He had 99 in the touchdown last week, Jim. He's got 11 touchdowns total on the year. He's a threat out of the backfield. I know Green Bay does have different weapons out of the backfield, but Aaron Jones is the best one they have. I expect him to get the bulk of the carries. Maybe it might not even be a rushing touchdown, but I wouldn't be surprised if we see one on the ground. Like I mentioned, he can't get it out of the backfield as well. And he had 10 and 15 against them in the first matchup, so I'm sure he remembers that. But he did get in the end zone in that game. So I expect him to do that again. And I'm going to take that. Best line I seen was DraftKings touchdown was 115 for Aaron Jones.
Aaron Jones TD is plus 115 at DraftKings.
That's what I had. Yes, sir.
What was the juice for the over 7.5 receptions?
Minus 108 at DraftKings.
Minus 108.
And then I got one more. I like what Bebsy was talking about Gronk. I believe I looked at the receptions on DraftKings, and it stood out to me too. I think it was only 2.5 or something. But I think it might have been really juiced. So, I had a lot going on today, so don't quote me on that. But if he's expecting him to get off in the yards, I'm sure he's going to get at least 3 receptions there. But I actually like Tom Brady. I'm going to go over 285 yards and a half, 285 and a half yards minus 112 at FanDuel. He averages 289 on the year. To me, the weak point, I know, Green Bay can show up at times on defense, but like Bebsy said earlier, it's all on Tom. He's going to probably throw the ball 40 times. I expect him to get 300 yards. It might be in wash-up time, but hey, all that matters is it cashes. And like he always got to do is average what he does every Sunday, and we're getting to the window with that.
Very interesting. So 285 and a half, is that with minus 112 at FanDuel?
Yes, sir.
Minus 112 at FanDuel. All right, Dutch Boy Fresh locking in props. He's got 4. He's on the Devontae Adams over 87 and a half yards. Adams over 7.5.
That is my favorite prop. Not to cut you off, Jim, but
no, that's all good.
My favorite prop. Yeah.
That's your favorite prop, best prop for our Dutch. Then he's on the Adams over 7.5 receptions. He is on the Aaron Jones touchdown at plus 115 and Brady over 285 and a half passing yards at minus 112. Noli's moved on Fournette over 42 and a half rush yards. Bebsy has moved on Adams over 87 and a half, over 87 and a half receiving yards. He's on the Tonyan over 32.5 receiving yards, and Gronk over 27.5 receiving yards. Great work, you guys. So the first half team total I can't get. I was hoping to get something better for us, but cannot get it. So the best we have, at least it's under 14, which I wanted. I badly wanted it. It's at 13.5, Bebsy, but it's minus 125 juice.
I'm still okay with it. I feel good about that play. I don't like the juice, but it just makes sense to me.
I agree. All right. How exciting is that? There's our saying that Green Bay's O-line will struggle here. We got Vita Vea back in action. We have revenge. The Buccaneers just exacted revenge against the Saints, and now it's the Packers' turn for Revenga from Scarface. Buccaneers, Packers, for sides and totals here, we have Packers first half minus 2.5 for me, full game minus 3, and first half team total over 13.5. For Bebsy's on the first half team total over 13.5. Noli's on the Packers first half minus 2.5, full game minus 3. Dutch is on the over 51.5 at minus 105. And bet MGM. Great stuff, man. That was fun.